dream about him.
Okay, okay. Here we go. Here we go. I'll click a little here. Oh. Hello?
I can't hear you. If you
No,
can you hear me?
You can't hear me? Oh.
Wait, maybe it's
Oh, hang on. We're good. We're good.
We got it.
One day. One day. One day we'll get there. Hello, my friend. Hello. Hello, hello.
Friend.
How
Doing
are
good.
you?
How about you?
I'm good. We're in a weird. This is like I don't know, like we're on a sabbatical or something. It's a weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird time for us.
Yeah. It's like a purgatory.
Yeah. I don't even know what's next for CR. By the way, with Thresher ending last night.
Yeah. I didn't know that was only going to be 2 eps.
Yeah, and they were relatively short. They were both 2-3 hours. So, but it was good, really good. Great cast, just definitely a fun show, and very well produced too. It was different than a typical table. Very much a produced 2-shot, but very good though.
I'm going to have to check it out. I got a lot to catch up on because I still need to watch the Wild Mount Wildlings too.
Yep, that one's awesome too. That one's just an all-around great vibe. And then I'm assuming the live show will air at some point. I don't know when.
Yeah.
Did you watch it on Beacon?
No. My Beacon subscription ran out.
Oh. It's that time for both of us, I guess.
Yeah. Somebody, I think it might have been Glim, mentioned, or it might not have been, but in the Discord that they didn't know if they'd be able to put it on Twitch because of like some of the content in it or something. I don't even know what that means necessarily.
What could that mean?
I don't know. Like maybe they like subject matter or something. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, my son is riding a bicycle in the street. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Probably should make sure there's somebody supervising that. Also, y'all, forgive me. I'm gonna try to do a little technical difficulty here. I see that the green screen is like phasing out the top of my head. Fix that. Or wait, might not be able to since Blake's. Oh. I don't know if this is in my control or not, but I'm still going to try. Oh, you know what I can do? If I change the lighting... Or worse, I guess. Way worse. Whoa. Wait for the stream to catch up. way behind. Hold on.
All right. Sorry about that.
Darker. Oh,
Apologies.
everything okay?
Yeah, no, he's so for our listeners, my son is 3 years old, and they've been playing in the driveway, and I didn't know if my wife was out there, but I looked out the window and I just saw him in the middle of the street, like on his little bike, and I was like, that seems not ideal. But my wife was out there, but then they wanted a hug, and then I had to wait for them to come back and like give me a hug, and tough life, right? But anyway, sorry to jump off for a second.
No, you're good. I was just doing some technical troubleshooting.
That is really interesting about the content, though. I have some friends in my campaign who went to the live show, and they didn't mention anything like that.
I maybe I did a drive-by on a conversation happening in the Discord.
Okay.
I might be completely missing the context. It might have been a joke for all I know.
Okay.
I just for whatever reason that stuck with me. I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened. But it literally could have just been a complete joke based on the conversation in the Discord that I just was not privy to.
Well, what have you been up to, man? You and I haven't really.
I know.
We typically talk every week, usually a couple of times, and we haven't.
Yeah.
We didn't.
It's been weird, and then especially weird because of there was a break for Worlds Beyond,
right?
And then we kind of threw us off. So we're like, especially.
Yeah, somebody asked in Discord, are y'all still doing recaps? And so the way it kind of played out is Will and I typically listen to Worlds Beyond, since it just drops on Spotify, at some point over like the week or so that it airs. And then we usually record in those like last few days before the next one drops, which I guess we should probably do it when people are actually talking about it, like right when it drops. Yeah. Well, so Will and I guess at some point, I have a very vague memory of us talking about the episode, the previous one, and I guess Will and I realized that, well, wait a second, we didn't actually record an episode. We must have just chatted about it. This is also why we don't talk about content until we record it. But anyway, we're going to do the previous episode and the one that just dropped on Monday afternoon. And so then that will air sometime that evening, just for people who are wondering about it.
Yeah.
So
we need to, not that we have to figure this out now, but should we like truncate the recap or still just go like?
Yeah, I guess so. We also, not to add to our schedule, we also had someone ask if we were going to do Divergence, a wrap up for Divergence.
Oh, yeah.
There is Wildmount Wildlings. I don't know. What I said was like maybe we'll do like a summer wrap up. Here's all the different like one shots and two shots and things that happened. Though, I mean, Divergence itself is definitely deserving of a conversation on its own. It was really, really good. But
I think we should we'll do a little something on Divergence for sure.
Yeah.
Because that I mean, not that the other things aren't deserving, but that's like a main.
Right. And it was very good. It was a very, it was very good. Really, the ending was awesome. But the Big Slap said, Worlds Beyond Number has been genuinely insane. Taylor is putting his all into that sound design. I never get tired of, I just saw a Reddit post about this too. I never get tired of seeing praise for Taylor Moore. Dude is crushing it. It's so good. And again, he taught himself. You know, he's self-taught, which is just mind-boggling. So
insane. I think I mentioned this when we talked to him, which I hope this. I'm just thinking this now. I hope this didn't come off as like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I hope this didn't come off as patronizing in hindsight. Now that I'm thinking about this, but I think I told him, I was like, your contribution to the show is as important as like Brennan's.
No, yeah, I don't think that's patronizing. I think that's a great compliment for sure.
But I fully stand behind that. Like, definitely lifts it up.
I mean, the sound design for a no video podcast. I mean, it's It's great. I've been like thinking a lot more about sound design lately because I've been playing a lot of Last Epoch and wondering why does Last Epoch feel so different compared to Path of Exile. And then I saw a Reddit post about this exact conversation, and the top comment was, it's the lack of sound design. Path of Exile has really like good bass and like punchy hits, and this is a random segue, but in Path of Exile 1, which these are ARPGs like Diablo, in Path of Exile 1, you had this skill called Herald of Ice, where when you killed an enemy, they would shatter, and then it could chain shatter, so the whole screen would shatter. Well, there was a patch at some point in Path of Exile 1's development where they changed the audio sound for that, and people rioted. They were like, change it back, change it back. But all that to say, and they did, by the way, all that to say, it's crazy how much good sound design like makes it, and Taylor's doing such an incredible job.
Yeah, for sure. So I was actually wanted to ask you about Last Epoch or Epoch?
Epoch, Last Epoch. I actually don't know, by the way. I've never heard it verbally said, and I'm just assuming. Well, some of my friends have said Last Epoch too, like Chris and Zorix, and yeah. So I think it's Last Epoch.
Okay. So Path of Exile has the better sound design, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Right.
But
Last Epoch.
I've been hearing great things about.
Dude, Last Epoch.
Yeah.
Great game. Great game.
I know.
It's fantastic.
We've talked about this, but we kind of spy on each other via our Reddit presence a little bit.
Yeah.
We just have one Pixelbits account, so I've been seeing your posts in there, and I saw one where you were just praising like the team.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I got to check this game.
Dude, we're on a nice little Reddit. For as insufferable as Reddit is, I feel like I'm on a streak. I feel like I post something, it just blows up. I've had like 6 or 7 in a row, man. I'm like, all right, I got the finger on
that. All in the Last Epoch,
and Path of Exile too.
Are you still playing Poe 2, or has Last taken over?
PoE 2 is in a extremely bad place. There's pretty much nobody playing it. However, and I'll back up that with 2 different comments. And the first one being that Steam charts, which obviously isn't the whole picture, but Steam charts for Path of Exile 1 dropped to the lowest it's ever been in the history of the game since it's ever been on Steam this last week. Oh. And then PoE 2 only had like 1,500 viewers on Twitch yesterday. Now, part of this is because, without like belaboring it too much, the creators of the game love this idea of like a scarce mindset, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. And so drops are rare. They don't come along very quickly. This is very different from Diablo 3, which I can't remember if you ever played Diablo 3 or played it in recent times, but Diablo 3, you spend 10 minutes in a map, and like the screen explodes in loot, and like you'll get all your gear that you need in like a weekend. Well, Path of Exile is the opposite of that. Well, it is so harsh that people have really stopped playing the game because there's just no loot. It just takes forever to find anything. So last night, they just dropped a patch that severely buffs all the loot. So we'll see what happens with Path of Exile. We'll see. It's kind of like, I think you did play PoE 2 in the first league where currency drops were like kind of non-existent, and then they like buffed it a little bit and it started to feel a little bit better. Well, then they nerfed all that and it was bad again, and they just buffed it again yesterday. So we'll see, but I'm having a great time with Last Epoch. It's a really fun it's a fun game, and they have a solo self-found feature where if you choose not to do trade, like you can opt to lock yourself out of trade.
Yeah.
And if you do, all the drops are way better. Like your odds of finding things are better. Yeah, so you're not just like punishing yourself. You can just choose like, I want to play the game as if it was a solo game. And by the way, they have an offline mode, which is a bit of a rarity in today's always online world.
These days.
But yeah.
So can you still play with other people in that mode?
I think if you do offline mode, it's just your character. I don't think there's like
On the
direct.
no trade mode, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. You just can't, and you can trade items with your friend too. You just can't go to like the auction house and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which you might ask, like, well, what's keeping people from doing like, selling stuff, like out of the game? The way trade works in Last Epoch is, if an item drops while you're playing together, most items you can just trade freely back and forth. The other thing that happens is, as you play together, like every half hour or so, you drop a currency item called a resonance. And anytime you want to trade a good item, you just have to use a resonance to do that. And so if you're going to trade with your friends, either you have to be playing together when it drops, or you have to play together enough to have this currency to trade back and forth. So
cool.
it's nice. It keeps people from like, hey, I'll sell you this item for $10, whatever. So, so that's kind of the nitty gritty nuts and bolts of Last Epoch, I guess.
That's cool. I definitely want to check it out. And while we're on the gaming subject, I guess, have you heard? I don't know the name, but if you've heard of it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's like this new turn-based RPG that like everyone is raving about. Have you seen this?
No.
It's called it has like 33 in the name. Like
I saw, I saw like not a meme. It was like, this is like Reddit scrolling, by the way, so I didn't get it. It was something like when EA or when these major publishers say that X kind of game doesn't work, and then it was a picture of Baldur's Gate 3 with this 33 game like side by side. And I've never heard of this game. I would just kind of scroll past it. But now that you said it, I'm like, oh, that must have been that game.
Yeah, I had never heard of it either, but people are raving about this. I just looked it up. It's called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And and people on the internet are hyperbolic, but I've seen people say that this is like one of the best games of all time.
Wow.
I kind of want to check it out, but I don't know anything about it.
That's crazy.
Or maybe one of the best turn-based games of all time, at least. It looks cool. Like, it has crazy graphics.
Yeah, okay. And one more time, what's it called? I'm trying to Google it.
So if you type in Expedition 33, I'm sure that'll pull it up. But it's called Claire Obscure.
What an interesting name.
Yeah.
Sandfall Interactive. I've never heard of this studio.
Me neither. I think they're like a small studio too, which is probably why that Baldur's Gate comparison came up.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. That's really cool. I wonder what other games they've made.
There's probably no way it's on Game Pass.
Oh, this is their first project.
Wow.
Good for them, man. That's definitely impressive. Wow. And I guess it just came out, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, it's got 9s and 10s across the board.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Where'd this come from?
That's incredible. It's a French studio. That's really cool. Good for them, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you know Hades 2 has been out? By the way.
Yeah. Well, is it officially out?
Well, no, just early access though.
Yeah, I bought the early access 6 months ago. It's been a while, but I've literally never played it.
Here's where I'm out of the loop, man. I don't know if I even said this in WhatsApp too, but I was like, I saw a headline that said, "Are you frozen, by the way?" Oh, you're back. Okay. I saw a headline that was like Hades 2.
I was, but I'm back now.
Hades 2 releasing May 6th. And so I texted either the group or some other people and said, dude, Hades 2 on May 6th. And no one said anything. And so I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm so excited. Well, then as you're talking about Expedition 33, I was having this moment because I Googled, I was like, oh, by the way, we can talk about Hades. And so I Googled it and I saw May 6th, but it said 2024. And I was like, wait, what? And so then I looked and I was like, oh, it's been out for a year. Okay, so there you go.
You know, I got it the day it came out for early access because I think I was about to go on a trip, and so I put it on my Steam Deck. And then it's not that I didn't like it, but I played it for like 10 minutes, and there was something different. Like there's a new mechanic.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's probably incredible. But in that moment where I was gonna try it out, I was like, nah, I don't want to learn the muscle memory for this new mechanic right now, and I've just never played it again.
You got to try that out, and you need to try Cyberpunk and tell me what I've heard like acclaim for that too.
Bro, I need also. I don't know if I think we talked about this. I started Disco Elysium, so I gotta finish that first.
Yeah.
But there's so many things I want to try. I want to play Last Epoch. Is it Epoch? I already forgot which one it was.
Yeah, Last Epoch. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Last Epoch's good for if you want to just play like a Diablo-style game.
Is it Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it's $30.
Oh, I could Steam Deck that probably.
Oh, I heard it's great on Steam Deck. So,
it'd be fun.
I already owned it, I guess, from when it came out a year or so ago. So,
yeah,
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll jump on this. But,
then, so it's not new? Was there just like a new patch or something?
Yeah, they basically like went into development for the new patch like a year ago, I guess. And so this is like their big new release as of like 2 weeks ago. And it's really fun. It's really good. But I was going to say Silk Song, that's a Hollow Knight. That comes out in September, I think. First one's one of my favorite games. I mean, it's just so good. So I'm excited for that too.
Actually, I gotta move that up my list because I gotta finish that before Silk Song comes.
I need to see what it's going to cost because Nintendo's on this $80 train, and then you see Xbox, Microsoft is raising their games to $80.
No, I didn't, but I guess makes sense.
Yeah. So for the listeners, Nintendo, when they did their Switch 2 announcement, they also mentioned that games would be, I guess, mainstream games would be $80. And there was a lot of chatter around this about like, oh, other companies are going to follow suit. This is toxic, whatever. Well, sure enough, Microsoft announced yesterday that holiday games will be $80. And also they raised the prices on all their consoles by like $100. Yeah, like by $100 to $200.
Like because of tariffs?
I guess so. They just said because of the current economy, we have to raise our prices. So
that's crazy.
This is unprecedented. I've never heard of a studio raising prices on a 5-year-old console.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't even register that. Like Switch 2 games, because they're like the next gen. But Xbox is just raising the current gen game prices to $80?
Yes, and raised all their consoles.
Yeah,
like $100 to $150.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and the last I guess consoles last a little bit longer now, but it's not like the console just came out. Like we're in the midlife of this console.
Like what even the Xbox One? Is that what it is?
Xbox Series X maybe or Series One or something like that.
But that's been out for like 5 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, 2020 I think is when it came out.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, it's the sign of the times. I mean, a lot of these, chips and technical parts come from China, and there's massive tariffs there, and it doesn't feel good for the average customer. But
growing up, I feel like I always remember $50 being the game price, but was it cheaper than that?
I don't think so.
I'm thinking like an N64 game was $50, but was it less than that?
I think maybe 50, and then I remember it being 60, and then it went to 70 I feel like recently. I feel like maybe 5-6 years ago it went to 70, and now it's already going to 80. And, the economics experts in the world who are listening to this can educate me, but I was talking to someone else about this recently, and they were like, oh, well, hopefully, like, when all this tariff stuff is behind us, like, the prices will come back down to, like, and I was like,
no.
Buddy.
Yeah, as if.
It's like, buddy.
That they'll just...
Come on, dude.
Profits will go up. Price will not come down.
Yes. I was like, come on,
just
man.
Just like everything during COVID.
I was like, give me a break. I saw a chart, by the way, of how prices from, like, grocery store goods have changed since COVID, and it was pretty, like, since you're not in front of like the price every day, for me, it really surprised me. Like seeing the pre-2020 prices compared to now, like pretty significant increases. Not just like eggs, obviously, but like toilet paper and a handful of other things that I wouldn't even really think about that are like $2, $3, $4 more expensive.
It's crazy, man. Like, I'll go to the store to get like maybe we're out of toilet paper, so I go to get that, and I'll get like that and paper towels, maybe like one other thing, and it's like at least $50.
Oh, dude, my wife knows that my favorite thing is for her to go to the grocery store and me be like, how much did it cost? And she's like, $60, $70. And I'm like, what did you buy? And she's like, I got olive oil, you know?
Yeah.
Which is also, by the way, like $8 or $9. I mean, for like a little bottle. So, yeah, it's crazy. I make more money than I made 5 years ago, but I feel like I don't.
But it feels like less.
Yeah. Now, granted, Joy doesn't work anymore like she did 5 years ago. She had her, and she still does a little bit of it, but she was making some pretty good money doing that. And since we have kids, she doesn't. But it's crazy, making more money and somehow feeling like I have less than I had. It's interesting and sad.
Yeah, bro, I feel like that's like the reality for like most people. It feels like.
Yeah, and like we've talked about this offline, but I have to buy a car to fit my third child, and I legit do not know what I will do in the next few weeks. Like legitimately do not know, because I was looking at prices and I'm like, there's just no way. Like I just don't even. I mean, who knows? But
because you also don't want like a piece of junk.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm putting my wife
need something safe.
Yeah, if I'm putting my wife and kids in there, I don't want like a 300,000 mile. I was talking to somebody who they had a 2006 minivan with like 285,000 miles, and I was like, and they wanted like 4K for it. I was like, that seems not good, but I don't know. I don't know the car market, so
you need. I don't know how the ages versus the car seats breaks down. So do you need 3 rows, or could a 2-row car feasibly do it?
A 2-row car could do it. It's just that our current car, I guess it's just not wide enough. It just doesn't, like, we physically can't fit the middle seat in. And it might be because car seats have gotten safer. Like, I'm a younger dad in the sense that my kids are only 5'3", and now this one coming, but the car seats itself are really, and I'm glad they're safe, but yeah, there's literally no way to fit the middle seat in there.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if you're supposed to have a baby seat in the middle seat either. So I have no idea. That's why I wasn't sure if you like necessitated a 3rd row or not. I will say I'm not condoning this, so just know that before I say this, but I was talking to someone else about this, and they were like, yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times where I've just carried my baby in my arms while I drove, and I'm like, that especially does not sound like something I would do or tell someone that I've done.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that should be the plan.
Yeah. It's funny the things people say that they say so openly, and you're like, I think that's against the law. Like, I don't, I don't know if we're supposed to do that. So
when's the due date again? It's like we're coming up, right?
So June 11th. But just to like spike my anxiety, we had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and so it's supposed to be June 11th, and the doctor was like, yeah, you're looking actually about 3-4 weeks past where you should be. So it could be as early as in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Which, let me reiterate, I don't know what to do about a car. I especially don't know what to do in the next 2 weeks about a car. So, it's just, we're really excited though. I mean, we have an ultrasound on Monday, and, couldn't be happier to add an extra little wow raider to the mix.
Yeah.
So,
not that you need to reveal it, but have you guys settled on a name?
We have like 5 or 6 that we kind of cycle between, and whatever my wife really likes, my kids do not like, and vice versa. My daughter really likes Princess Sparkle, and I said, we're probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll just see. But yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, man. Well, Anything else top of mind for you?
Trying to think. Not really. There's a couple movies I want to see. Have you heard all the hype about Sinners?
I have. I knew nothing about this movie. Bro, I'm glad you brought this up, by the way. I know nothing about this movie. Heard fantastic things about it.
Yeah.
Heard fantastic things about Thunderbolts,
Yeah, me too.
which surprised me.
Yeah.
And then, have you seen the trailer for this movie, Weapons?
I don't think so.
Bro, with Josh Brolin and the lady from, I can't think of her name. She's from Ozark.
No, what's it about?
I cannot do it justice. You need to watch the trailer. It's a very good trailer. I do not like horror movies, and I was like, might have to see that one. It was a very good trailer.
Is it out yet?
No, just the trailer came out, I think, yesterday or the day before. So, yeah, there could be some good movies.
Yeah.
We'll see. I saw that. Or go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the Thunderbolts getting so much praise has me excited and hopeful. Been like a bunch of duds for Marvel feels like recently.
Did you see Captain America, New Soldier?
Did you?
I don't know what it's called. No, but I see the final fight on my Facebook and YouTube everywhere. It gets shared so much, so I already know how it ends.
Yeah.
And I know
Did it look good, or was it?
No, it didn't really look good. Honestly, didn't really seem that interesting.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad because Anthony Mackie I really like.
Yeah, I like him too.
So I feel bad that it doesn't seem like the writing got him there.
Yeah.
Did you see? Was Daredevil good?
So Daredevil was this, but I understand why.
Okay.
So let me give you the real quick rundown. So remember how like Marvel went through like a shifting, and part of that was like we're scrapping Daredevil and starting over.
Yeah.
So what that actually turned into was they didn't just scrap it, but they brought in like 2 new showrunners, and they did some reshoots. And so like episode 1 and episodes 8 and 9. So the first and the last 2 episodes were like all new from the new guys, and those episodes were really good. But then the middle was all of the original stuff that they just kind of had to like make work.
Yeah.
And that it's not that was awful, but it was clearly not as good. And so season 2 is from the new guys that did the good episodes. So I have high hopes that if we're only judging it on the 3 good episodes that the showrunners did, then it was good.
Yeah. Okay.
But
and I controversial take. I feel like it's nice when a show gets a little bit better over time. I feel like Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, got better in season 2.
I still have not. I need to finish that.
It's one of the. I think the same thing happened in season 1, where like we finished it and we were like, yeah, okay, and then as time went on, it was like, oh, that was real bad. That's kind of how I feel about season 2, and that season 2 way better than season 1. But the more I think about it, I'm just like, oh man, what were they doing with that scene?
Yeah.
And then also, one of our Pixelist viewers, who we've met up in person with, she mentioned she didn't like the show because Tolkien was such an amazing writer, and that the writing for the Amazon show didn't do it justice. I never read the books, but then I shared an excerpt in the Pixelist Discord that I found on Reddit, and I was like, I get it now. Like, the writing is so freaking good, and the show is not. But just like with you mentioned with Daredevil, like there were a few good episodes there, and I'm excited to see where it goes for season 3.
Yeah, I need to catch up.
And then there was another show I was thinking of. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought on it.
You watching it right now?
No, I forgot I was going to say The Last of Us season 2.
Oh, I haven't been watching it.
I haven't either because I never finished the game, and I feel like I can't watch it without finishing the game.
Do you know what happens though?
I got about halfway through the game, and I know they've aired like the first few episodes. So and again, it's being shared on my Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's my algorithm. My Facebook is just full of clips from like shows and movies. That's like all it is. And so anyway, a pop-up came up for The Last of Season 2, and I was like, I already know what that scene is. But I'm trying to avoid other spoilers. So
Yeah.
anyway, first season was good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think the only reason I haven't watched it is because you and I watched season 1 together.
Yeah.
And then Ashley didn't see season 1. So I either need to get her caught up on season 1 and then we'll watch it, or I'll just have to watch it by myself.
Yeah. I get it. All right, well, I think that's going to do it. You got a busy weekend ahead of you?
I mean, just normal, I guess. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. You know how it goes.
I have to pick up my neighbor's cousin from the airport tonight at midnight. So my neighbor is like,
how did you get roped into that?
She just needs some help. She's like in her mid 60s and was like, it's too late for me to drive up to the airport. Like, would you do it? And I was like, yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm happy to do it.
Very nice of you. Very neighborly.
Yeah, but I do have that going on tonight. So
you could have been like, hey, have you ever heard of Uber?
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you all for listening today. We'll have Worlds Beyond coming next week, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thank